Hi, neighbors of Ward 4 Bradford. This is Joseph Giordano. I'm just going to give you a quick teaser on why I'm the right vote for this year's election for Ward 4 councillor. First and foremost, everything we need to do has to have a very, very simple mantra. This is what I live my life by. This is what I teach to my students at Humber College. This is what I walk into every single meeting with. And it's something very simple but very powerful. And that is hope is not a strategy. And the reason why I use the term hope is not a strategy is that anybody can talk, anyone can throw out ideas. People can go on my website and say, oh, I love all these points, and copy and paste them and put it onto their website. But the difference is that you need to have a strategic plan on how you're going to do that. And what a strategic plan does is it allows you to create a roadmap for success. Without that, optimization, efficiencies of dollars, it just becomes a throwing a dart at a dartboard and picking and choosing what you want to work on and not really having a strategic plan on how to do so. This is literally what I do for a living and why I think I'm a fantastic asset on council. So first and foremost, I wanted to touch about why hope is not a strategy and why we need someone who is a strategic mind and strategic thinker, strategic planner. So I've got a bunch of different ideas on safety where we live, and it's all on my platform. I just want to say that there's some misinformation out there about speed bumps, and that's all that we care about. Speed bumps are one of many, many, many physical speed mitigation tools, and it's something that is available. But there's way better solutions. Go take a look at my website, and I talk about all these different things, whether it's our expanding our police and our fire resources, and I've explained to those organizations how we would do so fiscally as well. But you got to understand that when you have a strategy and you have a plan, those plans are able to achieve a lot more with better efficiencies. And so I would love to have some time to reach out and speak to you guys about these things. So that's safety. The next thing is playing where we live. And we know that there's just, a gap that where we need to fill when it comes to, like, try putting your kids in swimming lessons here in Bradford. The second you go ahead and you jump online at 8 o'clock in the morning and you try to book your appointments, within 3 minutes, it's done. It's sold out for the season. And so, we know that there's a partnership between private and public services that we need to offer more. And, because we're mandated for growth, these are all opportunities right now that we're going to have moving forward. We just need to make sure we have, the right entertainment facilities. We want to develop our riverside destination, which is fantastic. We have water. We should be utilizing it instead of, making it look like just a couple of random people fishing off the side of the road with some cars parked on there. We can do much better than that. And working with corporate sponsorships, we can definitely do this without a major burden on any taxpayers. The goal for everything that we do is to not raise taxes, and so that leads me to working where we live. We have a lot of people that are working, especially from post-pandemic, that are working from home or have businesses, small businesses that require some sort of a space. And we don't have any office space unless it's prime retail space. And when you deal with prime retail, that's like store facing right on a main road. That's very expensive, and it's not optimal for a lot of businesses to pay that kind of a premium for a space where they can have customers, access to boardrooms or to meetings and stuff like that. So we need to build some of those, and those are very, very easy to do. Again, when you leverage development, you turn around and say, well, listen, if you're going to build some retail on top of the retail, give us 2 floors of some commercial office building space. Very, very simple to do. It's in high demand. Definitely something we need to add to. On top of it, we need to have more competitive retail space. It's crazy expensive here. The feasibility when you look at trying to run a business here in Bradford, you're paying rent in many cases much, much higher than Vaughan, North York, Newmarket, even Toronto. And that's just for Bradford, we need to do better. We need to offer more opportunities and make it more feasible so then people can actually have operating costs in line so they can compete and they can succeed here in Bradford. Again, I've got a lot of other ideas. Reach out to me. We can go through them. And that directly leads me to spending where we live. When we talk about spending where we live, we just need more restaurants. We need more youth and teen entertainment, even adult entertainment places. When I say adult entertainment, I mean like, whether it's, those indoor driving ranges or, some sort of a bar entertainment facility we can go to. We need to have those places where we can keep our, money here in Bradford. I can't tell you how many times we, knocking on people's doors. They're telling me, yeah, I spent all my money in Vaughan, Toronto, Newmarket, even Barrie, and they don't spend their money and their entertainment dollars here in Bradford because there's just nothing here. And we just need to expand on that. Again, there's a lot of other ideas. We need to expand on our sport programs, like I mentioned earlier, and we need to make sure our downtown core is a heritage-style downtown core. Like I use Kleinburg, 2 year turnaround to turn downtown Kleinburg into a beautiful place that people actually use, and it drives tons of revenue. Um, I'm not sure what we have right now, but it's a hodgepodge and a mishmash, and we need to make sure that we actually build it correctly. So again, I got a lot of strategic ideas on how to achieve this. Reach out to me. And then lastly, community. And community where we live is really important. Um, we need to expand our public transportation, not get rid of it. When you're a growing community, we're actually 10th largest growing community in all of Canada and fifth in Ontario. So to think that we're going to use some small town tactic like they use up way up in like, Halliburton and Minden, where you have like a subsidized cab or this and that, or an Uber. I would never put a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old girl going to their job or after school programs and taking public transportation. The other thing too is we have a bit of an elitist attitude when you think that, oh, we can just get rid of public transportation. Number one, we've already paid for all the infrastructure and the buses and everything else. So at the end of the day, that money has been spent from taxpayers. We don't want to just throw it out. Number two, if we optimize and better provide a more functional transit service, people will use it more. And we need to connect with Newmarket. There's no reason why we can't connect with York Region Transit. So many people have to go to South Lake and they have appointments and everything else, and it's costing them $70, $80, $90 for round trips to get there. That's insane. It's not hard to do, and these are things that we can definitely work with, in my opinion, to make things way more efficient, increase the usership, and from there, when you have these large community events like Canada Day or Carrot Fest and everything else, those buses also become hubs and drivers to get more people to these events. And that leads me to my next point, which is we need more street parties. We need more community events. I know that the outside the library area there, that space, we use it quite often. It's fantastic. We need more of that, but grassroots in the streets, street parties or other types of like block party style things where it just brings the grassroots community together. That's so important. And we need more senior accessibility. There's so many seniors that are using Walmart to hang out at because there's nowhere else, or it limits their abilities to travel or get around. So we need to expand all those things. And the last thing, somebody needs to reach out to me if you're interested in what people are talking about when it comes to affordable housing. The problem with affordable housing is it's a bit of a loaded term, because affordable housing is such a weird term, because affordability is based on market, and market drives price. So if we're talking subsidized housing, that's a whole different strategy than affordable housing. So what we need to do, and I have a bunch of fantastic ideas that are pretty revolutionary, groundbreaking, and available right now. But this is not the platform to do so. So reach out to me. We can talk about that. And lastly, when we talk about growing where we live, expanding educational facilities, we definitely need to do that. We're screaming at the high school levels and at the elementary school levels at capacity. We need the right development partnerships. And we need to provide some sort of a permanent farmers market, so I can stop buying produce at the grocery stores from Mexico and California, and we can buy locally. There's a lot of strategies, ideas that we need to work on. And again, you can reach out to me at any point in time. I can go through all these when we have more time. And so the reason why I'm talking about all this is the most important thing. Right now, we are in this it's fully been committed to. We have a recession that we're in. We have inflation and hyperinflation that's hitting us. And this provides a lot of challenges for us, especially if we're elected as council. However, there's also a lot of pivoting that we can do to actually benefit from this. And I'll explain. When there's a recession, there's a couple things that take place. Number one is spending patterns from government change, and they move away from a lot of the commercial and residential, and because people aren't using their dollars for that because they're being squeezed. And what they do is they move it into capital projects. So capital projects are like heavy civil and infrastructure. Now, the reason why that's very important for us is we have this window right now where we have to grow. We have to grow commercially, industrially, and in civil infrastructure wise. And so those dollars are still going to be there. However, if we don't put the services and the infrastructure in, the sewers, the water mains, and the roads and the bridges and everything else right now, when the government, the federal and the provincial, are going to be opening up their purses and pivoting and spending more in those communities, we're going to get our share of that. So we can drive our local economies and we can benefit from all that development if we act correctly now. And this is why this election is so important. We need to make sure we capitalize, and we understand with someone like myself and other people that are coming on board, we can definitely look at how we can keep our tax dollars from going up, because we have opportunity. We just need to make sure we work within those development companies. We work within the governments to attract the right dollar spends, and that way it takes the burden off of us as taxpayers. Again, I have a lot of ideas on how we can do this. I got a roadmap. This is not the first time this has happened. This is actually what I do for a living, so I'm quite aware on how we can attract this, and that's why I feel like someone like myself would be a fantastic person to be on council. So at the end of the day, I know I've been going to so many people's homes, and thank you for everyone I've met with. It's been fantastic. It's hard to hit every single person. So what I've actually provided is some open hours. So between 7:45 and 8:45, you can come by 197 Blue Dasher, which is my campaign office slash home, and I'll be outside and I can answer any questions you guys may have. So again, come by, please see me, and let's get this election ready to go. And so at the end of the day, I want you guys to remember something. So this is a very common theme, but we need to love where we live. And so I'm asking you to vote for me, Joseph Giordano, to make sure that we can love where we live. And I look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you.